Hey you guys, so it's Kiani Nicole and I am back finally with another video. I also just want to say I am so sorry for being gone for so long. I didn't realize how hard it was going to be to try and film and edit and study and etc etc. So we are going to get into this, and I'm pretty sure the reason why you guys clicked on the video is because of the title. So yes, I failed nursing school. I was very upset. I cried, and I knew I was going to fail. But instead of just dropping out of the course, I just wanted to see it through because I figured, it would still prepare me for the future. So we're going to get into why I failed, but I just want to also thank all the people who reached out to me for advice and everything about getting into nursing school and for the HESI and stuff like that. So, okay. Let's see. I don't even know where to start because I've been gone for so long. And I also moved, so different background. You see my curtains is hanging by whatever. I can't find my rods. Like, I'm still getting situated. If you guys see me looking back and forth, it's because it's hard for me to not look at the camera and my reflection because I'm recording on different devices now instead of my phone. Okay, let's get into it. So I got accepted into nursing school into the spring, and soon as we had orientation. So as soon as I went to orientation, they're like, basically, your life gone. You know, you're not gonna have a life. Nursing school is your job. If you can't, whatever, like if you can't handle it, you might as well drop out now. And I'm like, damn, like I wasn't even ready. I thought they were gonna like try to motivate us or whatever the case may be. They're like, one teacher, she's like, I don't care what you have going on in your life. Basically, she doesn't give a damn. She gets paid regardless. Like, it's your job to show up for school. It's your job to pass your exams. It's your job to do everything. And all they tell you is if you're like, oh, I don't understand this or whatever, look in the book. Look in the book, look in the book, look in the book. So, we also, from the orientation, we had modules. Well, how they made it seem, we had pharmacology modules that needed to be completed before we take this exam because we had to take a dosage calculation exam. I came home from my orientation and I busted through all 12 of those modules, and I did them over and over and over and over again because, again, that is my learning style. So yeah, I had to cancel a trip, and it was like already overwhelming from the beginning. So then nursing school starts, and we're like 2 or 3 weeks in. I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks at the most in before the first exam comes. And the first exam, like, they give you all these things that they tell you to use for studying, and none of it was helpful besides the book. And it's hard for me to study strictly from a book. So I wasn't getting my study habits until I was like halfway through the semester, once I finally figured out how to retain this kind of information, because we're talking about, I'll probably like put the schedule up somewhere in the corner right here, but we're talking about, we have an exam, then 2 weeks later we have another exam, and then maybe a week and a half later, sometimes not even a full 2 weeks, you have another exam, and then you have clinical starting, and it's just crazy. And they are giving, like, first exam, it's very confusing because it's more of just like the school's motto, I guess, like spirit of inquiry and all this other extra stuff. I cannot recall it right now because my mind, I literally dumped it. I was so stressed out. But I was just, I don't even know, because I'm just so overwhelmed, y'all. And I was so hurt, and I was just so devastated because I didn't think, I don't know, like I thought my prereqs were going to be the hardest thing. I don't know why. And then I thought getting into the program with the HESI test is going to be the hardest thing. But nursing school is definitely hard. I say from the beginning, if you can, get a study group. And do not keep adding people to the study group. Like 4 people max at most. And like when you see your exam is due in like 2-3 weeks, start studying right then and there. I would study briefly here and there, but I was also trying to study pharmacology a little bit here and there, and all, like, literally put all of your time and attention into fundamentals of nursing, because I didn't fail nursing school entirely. I passed pharmacology with an A. I failed fundamentals of nursing. I passed that class with a 69%. And you have to pass that class with a minimum of 77%. And so I would say, like, if you can, find something that we also, like, we were the first semester that was given the new NCLEX style questions. So the old NCLEX style questions are not on these new tests anymore. They said that the new NCLEX style questions are to prevent medication errors and, like, errors just in general in the health field. So it's really of, like, what goes in chronological order. So if you get a question and you say there's a patient with an NG tube and he is saying that he is having abdominal pain, or yeah, like, let's just say he's having abdominal pain. What are you gonna do? One, put him in high Fowler's position. Two, because he's also receiving an internal feeding. You're gonna stop the feeding. You're going to call a nurse, or you're gonna slow the feeding. So this is where I would get confused, because I'm like, if high Fowler's is an option, then maybe he's not in high Fowler's position. These questions would also be select all that apply. That's where you're going to mess up the most. Select all that apply, because you're going to read the question, then read the answers, and then read it over and over, and then you're going to start to freak yourself out, because that's exactly what I did. And one of my advisors told me, don't add information. Don't assume anything. Just imagine that you're a nurse in a perfect world and that you can do everything by the book. So you walk in by the book, your patient should already be in high Fowler's position. So if your patient is now complaining of abdominal pain because he is receiving a feeding, what should you do? Immediately stop the feeding, then call the doctor or let, like, a head nurse know, etc., etc., and then it'll be like something else. But don't, like, I would place them in high Fowler's position, stop the feeding, call the nurse, blah, blah, blah. And I would be failing these tests because I'm always adding additional information. Also, read the question twice before you get to the answer, if not 3-4 times, because we had a lot of grammatical errors and just the way that the sentence were written. It would mess me up, because again, I have ADHD, so I would get stuck on a sentence over and over again because I'm like, this does not make any sense. So just read the sentence one time through and through. We had this program called Exemplify, where you could highlight in the question. I didn't realize till later on that that was actually beneficial to me. So highlight the main key points in the question, and that should help you a lot to stick to the facts. What else was I failing at? Let's see. Let's see. Y'all, I don't know, but I just gonna say, like, if you do fail, it is not the end of the world. It is okay. Like, you're not gonna die. You're gonna feel like you're gonna die, but you're not gonna die, and you're gonna be able to keep going. Let's see, what else did I fail at? Care plans. They are so freaking annoying. Care plans are so annoying. Depending on who your advisor is, from my school, they all write their care plans differently. So my advisor, she said that your care plan should be, and it should be like a circle, full circle. We should be able to go from the objective data to subjective data to their medications to like everything back and forth, and then like all the way to the end, where you're like, the goals were met by patient was able to ambulate for 2 hours on this day, blah, blah, blah. And you should be able to read it backwards, and it all connects the dots. I was failing horribly at that, because 1 minute I'm not adding enough details. And then when I add more details, I'm adding too much detail. So it's like, you have to figure out what works, like, I don't know, figure out your care plan with your advisor and how they exactly want it, and then try to mold it to that. And I would just say, like, get a handle on care plans right now, because that was jacking me up like really, really bad. Let's see, what else is there? Yeah, it was just retaining the information for fundamentals of nursing, because that was really freaking hard. And there are people in there who was just like acing all the exams, and they're like, oh, it's because of my work. Like, they work as CNAs, but I'm also a CNA. And I would say if you're not a CNA in a hospital, then it's not beneficial to you, because I'm not a CNA in a hospital. I do assisted living homes. Well, I did because I was going to school. So obviously when you are in an assisted living home, they try to cut corners as much as possible. So a lot of the things that they're like, oh, I just knew because I do it so much at work. Well, we don't do that at work. We do this. And even when I went to clinicals and we're doing certain things with patients, they're like, in the book, you're supposed to do this. But in real life, the nurses, we're so busy. They're like, we either don't have time for this, we don't have the supplies for this, or like, like something is going on to where we cannot do everything by the book. So I would say, if you're not exactly a CNA at a hospital and you don't feel like it's beneficial to you, stick to the book. Like, all the time, stick to the book. One question that jacked me up, and I should have stuck to the book, but it just didn't make any sense to me. A 78-year-old female patient is complaining of pain and wants to know non-pharmacological methods to treat her arthritis pain. Yeah. So one was basically send her to church, like put her on an exercise bike. Another one was like meditation, listening to music, chamomile tea, and hypnosis. That's what messed me up, was the hypnosis. Because I'm like, why would she do hypnosis for non-pharmacological methods? And then another answer was icy hot gel, chamomile tea, and a heating pad. So I chose that one, obviously, which I felt like most people would have chose. But if I would have stuck to the book and not assumed what we would do in a hospital, because in the hospital on clinicals, I was giving lidocaine patches or icy hot patches. We would do like heating pads with the towels, warm towels and stuff like that, or I forgot what the devices are called, but they provide heat, and a patient can have tea. But the answer was the meditation, the yoga, the hypnosis, and like deep breathing exercises or something. So it's gonna be a lot of stupid questions, but I realized the questions are like, you sticking to the facts. Stick to the facts, stick to the books, and basically you cannot have any errors, and there's no room for errors if you're sticking to the book. Because if you don't stick to the book, then I guess you're more likely to mess up, which I would have messed up because it's ridiculous. So yeah, I failed nursing school. They give you the opportunity to reapply for the following fall semester. They do a raffle though. I did not get in. My friend Casey got in, but I did not get in. So I am eligible to reapply for this spring, which I will be doing July 1st. I already spoke to my advisor. They said that I have a good opportunity to get back in because I finished my semester even though I knew I was failing, and I didn't quit. My points still count, so I still will be applying with 84 points. So yeah, I'm just going to be manifesting, praying, putting all my positive energy into getting back into the program because I know what to do now. If you have got in or if you haven't got in, but you just want to prepare, I say start studying now. Some apps that I have on my phone for studying are, I don't know if you guys can see, It is the NCLEX RN by Saunders, and then I don't use the NCLEX PN. I just was too lazy to delete it. But like, let's see. We're going to try a question. The nurse is caring for a client with heart failure. On assessment, the nurse notes that the client is dyspneic. I don't know. See, look, y'all. Okay. And crackles are audible on auscultation. What additional manifestations would the nurse expect to note in this client if excess fluid volume is present? So one answer is weight loss and dry skin. 2, flat neck and hand veins and decreased urinary output. 3, an increase in blood pressure and increased respirations. 4, weakness and decreased central venous pressure. So the question is, what additional manifestations would the nurse expect to note if if excess fluid volume is present? I would say an increase in blood pressure and increased respirations. Let's see. Correct. So questions like this will help you, okay? They will help you. So I would say study now if you can. Just a couple of questions a day. Like I have a Quizlet that I made. So if you guys want to check on my Quizlet from just when I was in nursing school, because those were the questions, those are the exact questions that we were getting. And they just kind of help you get prepared. Or if there's any programs that you can get for like NCLEX style questions, or if you can find study banks, all these things, and just study. So by the time you get into the program, if you're someone who cannot retain information well like me, and you have to be repetitive to just kind of get into the motion, because this is a new learning style. It is not the same as like studying for anatomy and studying for microbiology. Like it is completely different. At least it was for me. I can't speak for everyone, but it was definitely completely different. So just study before you get into the program, and definitely get yourself a planner and like just try to stay on top of it. Pharmacology was an online course for me. So you're basically teaching yourself for that. So every time an assignment would open up, even before its due date, I would just get it done and get it out the way. So like that's one less thing that I don't have to worry about. And so that's probably why I got an A in that class. Like I was just on it. I was jumping on it, and it was open book. So that was beneficial. But it's good to study pharmacology, because you are supposed to know your medications, know your side effects, and like generic brands and blah blah blah, because they will ask you like, oh, what's the generic name and what's the brand name and all this other stuff like that. So it's good to know. Let's see, what else. Oh, if you do have ADHD or any type of disability that is challenging for you to learn in like a class setting, for your exams, stuff like that, go to your disability office on campus now, like before your semester starts, so that it's just in place. So once your semester starts, by the time your exams come, you get that extra time that you need. I did it halfway through the semester, and I didn't realize how bad I needed my extra time because I forgot I had coffee. Now it's cold. I would read my questions, get stuck on my questions, and then I would just sit there and like panic for a little bit. And with me being already overstimulated, that's when I'm like focusing now on the sounds around me. So like people tapping their pencils and chewing on mints and chewing on gums and like tapping their foot and all that, like that stuff starts to like freak me out. Like literally on TV, when you see the little cartoons freaking out because everything around them is just going on, that is me. So with me going to my disability office for my ADHD, I got to get double time for my exams, and I got to sit in a different building. It's like at the disability office, but it's quieter. And I was able to put in earplugs, so that helped a lot. And my grades did start to improve. If I would have done it earlier on, I would have passed the course. But since I did everything halfway through the semester, like every time I failed an exam, I would have to make up that grade with another one. So I had to pass my final with like a 96%. And the likelihood of that when I just started barely getting good grades halfway through the semester was very slim, but I still went in with hope. So just prepare now. Your life is not over. It is okay to fail. It's okay to cry. I just try to remain positive because I am the type of person, my glass is either full or it's empty. There's no in between. But I am trying to change my mindset. I am going to study more. I am going to focus on your mental health because it will take a toll on your mental health. Like, I go to counseling once a week now just because so many people are like, you can do it. It's okay. If anybody can do it, you can do it. Like, it's no problem because you got in, so you can do it. Or they're just like, change your degree. And nobody really knows like the struggle of just hearing those. It's like, okay, you say I can do it, but I'm not doing it. So thanks for your, like, I don't want to say fake support, but it's not helpful. And then saying to change your degree, that's not helpful. Like, you know, just being around other students who understand was helpful for me, but also going to counseling to just talk about it, know that I'm not a failure, and I'm not the only person in the world who's failed nursing school, and really just like trying to find a balance. Like, everybody is different. You have to try and find your balance. So I really hope this was helpful. I will be coming back with another video of just like how I started studying for nursing school halfway through the semester. That started improving my grades. But I really just wanted to give you guys an update on what's been going on. And after this point on, because I actually have room and time to film now, I will be more consistent, and hopefully I will be able to be more consistent with the filming once I get back into nursing school, because I'm speaking into an existence, okay, whatever the hell. I'm getting back into nursing school regardless. So yeah, but thank you guys. As always, please like and subscribe, and I appreciate everything. I appreciate you guys reaching out. I'm pretty sure on one of my videos I put my Facebook on there. Like, I'm just studying for nursing school still, but also trying to find a balance for my social life. So hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Facebook, message me here. Sometimes I'm a little late on here, but that was because I had an old tablet an old iPad that I really just didn't want to use, but got a new one. I take it everywhere with me. So reach out, reach out, reach out. I really do not mind helping you guys at all. I had nobody, like, I will be the first in my family, both sides to, well, not both sides, but like my immediate family to even have gone this far in college, let alone nursing school, and to graduate and all that stuff. So I had nobody to give me advice or tips or just how to manage and push through and persevere. So if you guys just need words of encouragement, I do not mind. So please hit me up. I am here. And like always, thank you so much, and please subscribe. Thank you.